Welcome back, Internet, to the fastest growing Real Madrid fan channel on YouTube. That's not true, but I apologise for my voice. It might sound a little shit. I had way too much to drink on the weekend, and I might sound a bit croaky, so I'll do my best to get through it. It's not going to be a long video. It's Monday. I just wanted to recap what happened over the weekend. Real Madrid Legends played in the annual charity event that they do. I wanted to talk about that, but first of all, clearly the club didn't listen to my previous video because the players are back in training. Yay, that's what they need. They don't need rest. They don't need rehabilitation. They need more training so they can break down probably in February and March of next year because of injuries and fatigue. Yeah, to me it's a joke. I don't understand when the players are getting a rest this summer. I don't know how they're going to cope next season fitness-wise. But they're back in training, and for nostalgia reasons, it is quite beautiful to see Xabi Alonso back at Valdebebas, I have to say. That is one reason I am glad that Modric will be playing in the Club World Cup, because it will be great to see them two link up again for probably the last time. So that's cool. I'm not 100% sure which first-team players have joined up, because the club have released a statement saying that Militao, Courtois, Carvajal, Alaba and Brahim completed part of the session with the group, along with Rudiger, Mendy, Endrick and Camavinga continuing their recovery process, and Valverde back in using the gym. If there's one player that should be on a beach somewhere, it's Valverde. It's crazy to me that he's already using the indoor facilities back at Valdebebas, but there we go. And of course, a whole host of academy players joined in as well, as they do every pre-season tournament for Real Madrid. So yeah, I have no problem, of course, with Carvajal, Militao, and probably Alaba, to be fair, joining up with the first team, because they need a proper pre-season. But the rest of the players, in my mind, should be on a beach somewhere. But of course, it's the Club World Cup next week, so they have to start training. And I wasn't entirely sure, because I thought I also saw today on Marca, who released some footage of the training, that Rodrigo, Asensio and Lucas Vazquez were also there as well. This is why I was a little bit confused, which would make sense because those three didn't play for their national team, so it makes sense that they were back in training. But either way, the players are back. It'll be interesting to see how long into the process where we actually start to see a completely different way of playing under Xavi compared to Carlo. Will we see the differences straight away? Yeah, I have to say I'm buzzing for next season. I'm very curious to see how we're going to play, but obviously it's going to take some time before Xavi gets his style into the team. But yeah, moving on then. The Legends played over the weekend. Absolutely beautiful. It's the annual charity event that they do every year. Of course, that's what annual means. We had a whole host of stars playing. We got to see Roberto Carlos there. Varane partnered Pepe in defence. You can see the whole game, by the way, on YouTube if you haven't seen it so far. It finished 3-3. Toni Kroos was back. Marcelo played in, we can say, a free roam kind of role. He was kind of everywhere. I think this is kind of his level, I would say, fitness-wise, Marcelo, because he looked one of the more energetic players on the pitch, I have to say. And I think time has finally caught up with Roberto Carlos. For about 10 years after Carlos had retired, he looked still really fit and that he could probably play first-team football. But yeah, he played 10 minutes and was substituted off, so I think he's finally age has caught up with the legend that is Carlos. Raul played, Julio Baptista played. It's beautiful. I mean, seeing Toni Kroos and Raul pass the ball between each other, for nostalgia reasons, it's absolutely beautiful. And Marcelo put in an absolutely classic Marcelo cross for the first goal. Julio Baptista scored a diving header. If you remember the Brazilian beast from back in the day, I remember him scoring a beautiful goal at the Camp Nou in about 2006, I want to say. He was what a great midfielder he was. But yeah, what does Pepe eat? Honestly, I mean, I still think he could probably play for Portugal's national team right now. I mean, his fitness levels are unbelievable. He never stopped running all game. He's got to be one of the fittest players I've ever seen. And Raul as well, again, doing what legends do. He scored a goal. I think he's probably retired about 12 years now at this point. And the goal he scored was from a corner. I think Varane flicked it on and he scored a diving header. He was still the first player to react, still sharp as they come. His instincts have not left him. I mean, it is a sign as well of the modern day strikers. I think out of every single goal that Mbappe scored this summer, or last season, sorry, it was with either his left or his right foot. He didn't score a single headed goal, and it to me just shows how flexible. And maybe how the game's changed, of course, but just how flexible the strikers were back in the day. Because Raul could literally score any type of goal. He was a complete striker, whereas today's players, I think, are a lot more one-dimensional, we can say. But yeah, so I just wanted to give an update on that, and also Zubamendi. I saw that Madrid could be in for Zubamendi as well. I'm not 100% sure I believe this. I think Arsenal will be the favourites because I think Arsenal will pay more in wages. Excuse me. I don't believe Madrid are going to match the wage demands that Arsenal will, having already given big wages, I'm sure, to Trent, and with players like Alaba still on the books. But apparently Madrid are going to make a late push for Zubamendi. He's a midfielder I wouldn't say no to. I would also be still happy with Stiller as well if we can get one of those two. But either way, I'm glad the club are looking at a creative defensive midfielder because I think that is a position we do need. So yeah, if anything changes on that, I'll keep you updated. But thanks for watching. Please leave a comment if you want to join in, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.